রেসকোর্সের পর্দায় আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগত জানাই। এই মুহূর্তে আমরা দাঁড়িয়ে রয়েছি রাজারহাটের ন্যাশনাল সেন্টার অফ এক্সেলেন্সের মাঠে এবং আগামীকাল ডুরান্ড কাপের গ্রুপ পর্বের শেষ ম্যাচে ইন্ডিয়ান এয়ারফোর্সের বিরুদ্ধে মুখোমুখি হবে ইস্টবেঙ্গল। আপনারা জানেন ইতিমধ্যেই কিন্তু ইস্টবেঙ্গল ডুরান্ড কাপের কোয়ার্টার ফাইনালে প্রবেশ করে গেছে গত ম্যাচে জেতার পরে এবং এই ম্যাচেও কিন্তু ইস্টবেঙ্গল হেড কোচের লক্ষ্য থাকবে জয় ধারাটাকেই বজায় রাখা এবং সেই মতোই অনুশীলন শুরুর আগে আমরা কথা বলে নিয়েছিলাম ইস্টবেঙ্গল হেড কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজনের সঙ্গে এবং সেখানে তিনি জানিয়েছেন যে চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপে টিকে থাকতে গেলে প্রত্যেকটা ম্যাচই আমাদেরকে জিততে হবে এবং আমরা যেইভাবে এইবারে জয়ের ধারাটাকে গত দুটো ম্যাচে আমরা যেরকম জিতে এসেছি সেই জয়ের ধারাটাকে কিন্তু আমরা পরবর্তী ম্যাচগুলোতেও নিয়ে যেতে চাই এবং অবশ্যই ইন্ডিয়ান এয়ারফোর্স একটা খাতায় কলমে কমজোরি দল হলেও সেই আর্মির দলগুলো কিন্তু যথেষ্ট শক্তিশালী হয়ে থাকে আমরা ডুরান্ড কাপে দেখে এসেছি এবং তার প্রতিপক্ষ ইন্ডিয়ান এয়ারফোর্সকে নিয়েও কিন্তু যথেষ্ট সজাগ কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজন। তিনি বলছেন যে অন পেপার কমজোরি দল হলেও এই দলগুলো কিন্তু নিজেদের 100% দিয়ে খেলে এবং এছাড়াও আপনারা জানেন যে দলে উইঙ্গার রয়েছেন, তবে প্রথম ম্যাচে সাউথ ইউনাইটেডের বিরুদ্ধে ম্যাচে তিনি চোট পেয়েছিলেন এবং তারপর থেকে এখনও পর্যন্ত কিন্তু তাকে সাইড লাইনেই দেখা যাচ্ছে অনুশীলন করতে এবং পিভি বিষ্ণু কবে মাঠে ফিরবেন সেই বিষয়ে কিন্তু কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজন কথা বলেছেন। তিনি জানিয়েছেন যে পিভি বিষ্ণু এই মুহূর্তে নিজেকে যত দ্রুত সম্ভব সুস্থ করে তোলার প্রক্রিয়াটা চলছে এবং পরবর্তী ইন্ডিয়ান এয়ারফোর্সের বিরুদ্ধে ম্যাচে তাকে 10 থেকে 15 মিনিট খেলানোর মতন যদি জায়গা থাকে তাহলে সেই জায়গায় তিনি চেষ্টা করবেন। এছাড়াও দলের নির্ভরযোগ্য মিডফিল্ডার সল ক্রেসপোর বিষয়ে তিনি বলেছেন যে ক্রেসপো গত 2 বছর ধরে ইস্টবেঙ্গল দলের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন এবং গত 2 বছর তিনি তার সেরা ফর্মে খুব একটা ধারে কাছে ছিলেন না, তবে এই মৌসুম তাকে কিন্তু আমরা তার ফর্মে ফিরিয়ে আনার জন্য যতটা সম্ভব চেষ্টা করছি। চলুন শুনে নেওয়া যাক কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজন ম্যাচ নিয়ে কি বললেন তার মুখ থেকে।
Well, good afternoon to everyone. This first point we need to know is that we will not have the tension of the qualification because the team already has done the homework in the 2 first games. But we are going to give maximum importance because we want to keep the momentum, we want to keep the good numbers that we are having in the competition and the good performances and still work on the areas that I mentioned in the last days that we have to improve.
You are already qualified for quarterfinals. So will you go for some experiment tomorrow?
Experiment, I don't know what you mean with experiment. We want to have a consistent and a solid team. So for that, these first 15 days of the preseason has been really positive. It's true that probably tomorrow we will introduce some rotations. We are playing many games in a short gap of time, considering that some of our players are also attending the games of the Kolkata League. So it's important for us to keep everybody fresh because the final part of the tournament we want to be at our best possible level.
Coach, will Vishnu be available for tomorrow's game or any other injury update? Anyone injured or any card problem in this one?
There are some players with a typical muscle stiffness consequence of being in preseason and consequence of the long break that we have in the months of May and June. But apart from that, most of the players are fieldable tomorrow. And in particular, replying your question about Vishnu has completed 2 training sessions. So the idea with Vishnu is more to have him in the final stage. But if tomorrow we can give him 10 or 15 minutes to get the feelings of competition, it will help. But it will depend also on how we see him today in our team practice.
Coach, Shaudik playing the first match. Vishnu is playing 1 match, he is injured. Yesterday Molina said, here is a 2-match rest here. Player is not playing at the properly throughout the 50 or 60 match. This is the reason behind the injury is a start the Duran Cup. So do you agree with the Mohun Bagan coach? It is the main problem to too many rest is here and the 22 matches is played in.
I reply nothing about Mohun Bagan because I totally understand your question and the way they want to handle the preseason and the message they want to give, I have to respect and that's not my part. In our case, I tell you the reality. We have been monitoring all our players since the month of June. Our training was in direct touch with them. They were having a plan from I think it was the 2nd week of June. They were following it in terms of food, in terms of physical condition. And if you remember, from our first week here, I was giving a very positive message in terms of the fitness point of the players. So I'm really happy with how serious they took the off season, and I think that that's an advantage because I can feel that in some areas our team is being quite engaged.
Final, any kind of plan to try out Kevin Civil again against Indian Air Force?
Kevin is going to have minutes tomorrow, definitely. Kevin was the player that was competing. He was the player of the team that was competing till, I don't know how to say it, on 25th of June, he was playing a game for the promotion of Second La Liga. So he was the player having less rest off season. So we took care in the first part of the preseason. We didn't want to overload him and have a fatigue problem. But it's true that Kevin in the last week is already showing signs of freshness, of competitiveness. Tomorrow he will enjoy minutes.
Coach, how you see your opponent, Indian Air Force? Is that game is way easier for you than more challenging?
No. I didn't see even one game in the Durand Cup. Well, one of Shillong probably and one of Diamond Harbour. All the other games have been very, very competitive. The teams that on paper they are weaker, they are adopting a low block, and when you have to face a low block, you need to show quality, you need to show automatism, you need to show that your players are clicked, you need to show that you win that 2 meters in the box, that you are ready to counter press and to try to get your rival stressing and not allowing counter attacks. There is one more point. So far we are the only team in the Durand Cup that we didn't concede one goal. So that's something that we want to keep, especially when we are a team this year that are gonna try to be more dominant, to try to play more in opponent half. So the risk of this is that the rivals they can harm you or punish you with counter attacks.
Last question.
Coach, last season, in our opinion, we thought that the players were, not adapting to your play style, your formation. But this season, the team has been made according to your choice only. Most of the footballers have been signed. So, on the basis of first 2 games, how the players are adapting to your play style and your formation and all?
Well, the coaches will have to adjust to the resources we have. That is a universal truth, and it's true that last season I have to adjust to the players that they were in the squad. I was using more a 4-4-2, reactive, defending, and probably launching fast attacks. This year, as you see, the players that we have has been brought here to try to win the maximum number of games, not to speculate and not to defend results, and to be more proactive in our game. And so far, I'm really happy with the collections of players we have and with the kind of football that we can play this season.
Coach,
Honestly and sincerely, now what you told me this, you are giving me this information, I was thinking that all of us will travel together. I really, I didn't know this point, and actually I don't know what was the problem.
Actually, the team was left, but although any fellows were behind to do the post-match physiotherapy. So that was explained to each and everyone.
Okay. You mean on the way back? On the way
back, yeah.
On the way back, yeah. Saul was having a nice bath in the dressing room. So as the players were tired and they wanted to go for dinner, we decided to go in advance, and Saul came in the cabin. But there is nothing to think, or there is not a double message on this.
So just to clarify.
No. I
Of Saul. No,
Saul.
Sorry. Saul was facing many problems in the last 2 seasons, but when Saul is in a good fitness condition, he's a very important player for us. So it's a player that we are trying to take care. We are, as I told you before, we are working very close to Saul from the last month of June. He was taking very seriously the off-season plan, and since the first day, Saul is showing signs that he wants to come back to his best form, and he wants to be an important player for our team. I'm happy to feel the excitement of our fans. I always say that the fans are the reason and drive of East Bengal. They are always being on our sides besides of the difficult seasons that we had in the past years, but I also feel that the fans are feeling that this year the things can change. So the message I'm giving from my first day this season here is that we are going to put everything to represent with honor and pride the badge of East Bengal, I don't want to hide it. I think that we need to challenge for titles, and this is the mission that we have here this year. Thank you.
রাজারহাটের ন্যাশনাল সেন্টার অফ এক্সেলেন্স থেকে ক্যামেরা শুভম মন্ডলের সঙ্গে সায়ন দে, রেস।